Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So here we have it, the first preview of the upcoming Codex Deathwatch. It is over on the Warhammer community site now. If you want to go and check it out, there's a link in the description of this video, a link straight to the article. Go and click on it, read it. I'm basically got to go through it, read it all, give my honest thoughts and feedback about it, how I feel about it. I'm actually kind of hyped about this whole Codex Deathwatch coming out because some of the rumours that we've been having is basically saying that Primaris are going to be involved in a big kind of way. If anyone knows me or you've been following my model blogs and stuff like that, I have got a full Primaris force of Space Marines. They're not very competitive at the moment on the tabletop in my opinion, and I'm hoping that this Codex makes them competitive. So let's just jump in and let's take a look at them. So at the start we have something that basically is just giving you a little introduction. Codexes have been going from strength to strength in this edition of Warhammer 40,000, from early entries that brought the tactics and diversity of factions like Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines. Just a little introduction. I've just read all this before. It's nothing really too special. This is where we start getting some of the juicy details. It's the special issue ammunition. Now this actually sounds very, very nice. It says Codex Deathwatch brings Primaris Space Marines fully into the fold, allowing them for the first time to access special issue ammunition. Now, like I said, me as a Primaris player, this is some of the stuff that I've been really missing out on, and it's basically made the Primaris forces a bit weak. Me personally, when I play my Primaris force, I try and just put them on points and just let them hold points, because the 2 wounds for Primaris are really, really good. It's basically when you take like a 10-man squad, it's like taking a 20-man squad because of the amount of wounds you have on your characters. But when it comes to shooting and stuff like that, they're really not that impressive. We have no access to grav guns. We have no assault troops. Like thunder hammers, storm shields, or anything like that. So when it comes to really fielding a full Primaris force, you are let down in the more melee types of areas. And when you come to, let's say, trying to destroy vehicles and stuff, you don't really have a lot of firepower like las cannons or anything like that on standard troops. So the introduction of special ammunition is getting me very, very excited. So it says, where were we? It says special ammunition issued for those. Oh, so it says, for those of you who don't want to collect Deathwatch, this special rule allows bolt weapons to adjust their firing profile to suit their targets against tougher models. For instance, you'll be able to use poisonous Hellfire rounds, while units in cover can be dispatched with dragon fire bolts. Again, that is very, very nice. So auto bolt rifles, bolt carbines, stalker bolt rifles, standard bolt rifles, and the absolver bolt pistol can now be outfitted with this ammunition, making intercessors a very powerful choice. I completely agree. That is very, very good to me. Kraken bolts, for example, help compensate for the lower AP of the auto bolt rifle, while the Reaver's heavy bolt pistol firing a vengeance rounds would have an AP of -3. That is fantastic. I have a 10-man squad of Reavers. I've used them on the tabletop before, and from my honest opinion, they are not very good at all. They can be kind of okay, but they're nothing special. It's basically not a unit where I would go out and it needs to be in my list to combat, you know, a certain force. I'd rather leave them out and put something else in. But this now, from what I'm reading, is getting me a bit excited. I'm actually thinking of incorporating Reavers into my force a bit more and just taking them as Deathwatch just for that AP -3. That is very, very good. The next paragraph says there's also a new kind of special issue ammunition to play with. The Tempest shell, available in the form of nifty stratagems, appropriately named Tempest shells, of course. They're ideal for chipping the last few wounds off a vehicle or making a dent in tougher combatants. At least they make your bolter-wielding units even more versatile. And we have it here. If I just click on it, and you can just see it there, I'll actually zoom in a bit for you. It says Tempest shells, Deathwatch stratagem. Tempest shells incorporate tiny plasma shock generators that emit electromagnetic radiation when the shell detonates. Use this stratagem just before a Deathwatch infantry model from your army attacks a vehicle with a weapon that can fire special issue ammunition. You only make a single hit roll with the weapon this phase. However, if it hits, the target suffers D3 mortal wounds. Now that goes back to the point where I was saying before about we don't really have a lot of, you know, anti-tank kind of weapons. Maybe then that now can step in a sort of way. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing. I'm not going to say it's going to be, you know, overtaking las cannons and stuff, but it's just something there for us to use, something which we didn't have before, which now we have the choice to take, and we can do just that little bit more damage to an enemy vehicle if the the dice gods are with us. Now, another great thing I'm reading in here is the mission tactics. It says mission tactics ability allows the Deathwatch to adjust their firing style dependent on your opponent. So at the start of the game, you'll get to pick a mission tactic which corresponds to a battlefield role. Troops, fast attack, elite, etc. and your entire army will gain rerolls of 1s to wound against the unit. Like chapter tactic missions, mission tactics applies to all your infantry, bikers and dreadnoughts, so you'll be able to take advantage of wide range units. Instantly reading that, instantly straight away, I'm thinking this is going to be great for my Hellblasters. If I can put as many Hellblasters in, and if I'm re-rolling 1s on wounds, I think that is fantastic. I have to basically put a captain next to my Hellblasters, because when I overcharge them, if I get a 1, they basically die. So that if I have a captain next to it, he can basically re-roll the 1s, so they don't die that round. But now I have something where I can actually re-roll the wounds as well, so I get to re-roll wounds and hits of 1. So that is great if I'm thinking of taking my Hellblasters, because me as a Primaris player, Hellblasters I found are the most powerful unit when it comes to fielding a Primaris force. They are just fantastic. The overcharge, depending what kind of gun you take, is incredible. So I'm very, very looking forward to testing that out with my Hellblasters and seeing what I get. Right, if we actually move on to the mission tactic, and I'll just go through them all again, I'll just zoom in so you can see them all. So we got Furor tactics. When attacking an enemy unit with troops, battlefield roll, you gain reroll wounds of 1. Venator tactics, sorry. When attacking an enemy unit with a fast attack battlefield roll, you gain reroll wounds of 1. Dominatus tactics. When attacking an enemy unit with elite battlefield roll, you gain reroll wounds of 1. And like this is, it's basically everything for it. So Malleus, Purgatus, and Rapatorius. Cool names, by the way. So yeah, they just go through them all. So again, that is a great little tactic. Straight away now, I'm saying to myself, I don't really want to play with the Space Marine Codex anymore. This Deathwatch Codex is looking better than anything for me personally as a Primaris player, which is in the Deathwatch Codex. So I'm very, very excited. And this is just like the preview of day one. I'm wondering if we're going to get another preview tomorrow, if we're going to get you know, some stuff which is not actually going to be featured in these articles. So it's looking really, really good as a Primaris player for me. And if we move down the article just a little bit, we have some more stratagems. We have one called Adaptive Tactics. Sorry, I'm losing my bloody mind today. So again, I'll zoom in. It says, only a truly versatile approach to warfare allows the Deathwatch to best the mirrored Xenos foe they face. Use this stratagem at the start of any of your turns after the first to change the current mission tactic for another one. If your Warlord is a Watchmaster, you can use this stratagem for 1 command point instead. So there you go. You can basically change you know, the current mission tactic if you want to play around, you know, maybe get the ball in your court instead of if it's in the enemy's court. Again, kind of decent. For me, I tend to just try and purge any force I come across in the battlefield. I'm not a very tactical player. I'll say that brute honestly. When I go to play a game, I just rush for the enemy. I just go for the jugular. It's like, I don't care if I'm going to lose my entire force. You will die, Xenos. You will die, Heretic. I will purge you off this board if it will be my last dying breath. That is basically my tactic when I come to play tabletop. And as you probably already know, I absolutely get slaughtered nearly 9 times out of 10. But I go down fighting in the name of the Emperor. No one can say that. And if we go down, these are some of the mission tactics. Again, I'll zoom in. Vigilance Incarnate. In standing sentinel over the vital sway of the Imperium, this warlord always knows the appropriate tactic to defeat the foe. Once during the battle, at the start of your turn, you can choose to change your army's current mission tactic for another one. And if we go to the next one, still zoomed in, Tomb of the Ectoclades. Is that pronounced right? I'm not sure, but I'm sure you'll correct me if it's wrong. This grimoire is bound in the skin of Alien, holds the most powerful truth of the Deathwatch have uncovered about their Xenos foes. The bearer can assert the vulnerabilities of the bearer can ascertain the vulnerabilities of those he is about to face. Such knowledge has in the past saved not only the book's custodian, but the entire world. That's a nice bit of lore that I don't think I've ever heard that before, so that's pretty nice. At the start of each of your turn, pick a mission tactic. Until the start of your next turn, you can choose to apply either the effects of the mission tactic that is currently active or the mission tactic you have chosen for the Tomb of the Ectoclades to any Deathwatch unit from your army within 6 inches of the bearer each time they attack. That sounds kind of funky. I'll have to play with that. I'm not too sure. See, I haven't really played with Deathwatch before, so this is going to be a brand new whole experience for me. The reason, like I said, that I've just been banging on through this entire video is that the reason I'm personally going with Deathwatch is that it's going to be more of a advantage for Primaris, for fully Primaris forces. The Space Marine Codex doesn't really make the Primaris Marines shine that much, which is kind of confusing because the way GW was going on about these, they were supposed to be like their poster boys and stuff, but when it came to the actual codex itself, they didn't really have a lot. I'm still thinking as GW got to put more stuff out, like, you know, heavy, like, Devastators, like, grav guns, the las cannons, so we can equip them. It's just kind of confusing, this kind of stuff we haven't actually got as Primaris players, so I'm wondering if we're actually going to get that in the future, but if not, then it's definitely the Deathwatch Codex is looking the way to go if you're a full-on Primaris player like myself. And just to end the article, we have something at the end, bringing it all together. It says, combining special issue ammunition and mission tactics give the Deathwatch the ability to tackle any foe effectively, seeing lots of high toughness monsters. Use this heavy support mission tactic and wound them with Hellfire rounds, fighting a mass of heavy infantry like Plague Marines. Choose troops, then shred their armor with Vengeance rounds. And it says we've not even got into the huge range of stratagems you'll be able to choose from, or the powerful new troop choice that lets you form a mixed kill team. That's something I'm really looking forward to, of Primaris Space Marines. Tune in later this week when we take a closer look at the latter, or get started early and take a look for yourself for some Deathwatch veterans. Now, that is the big selling point for me, is mix squads with Primaris Space Marines. That is going to be something I think is going to be a game changer when it comes to playing Primaris Space Marines. I'm wondering if Hellblasters are going to be a choice in that. I've seen discussions, people saying that Hellblasters are not a part of that. For me, that would be a bit of a kick in the teeth, but we shall see. One thing I definitely know we won't be getting with the whole Deathwatch stuff is any new upgrade kits for the Primaris. That my source says nothing of that's coming. If you want to upgrade them, you basically have to buy a box of the stuff that's already out and just kit bash them, which I think is kind of strange because I'm basically just be buying a box just for shoulder pads. So it's kind of a waste of money for me, basically. But if that's the way I'll have to go, then I'll just have to bite the bullet and just go it that way. I was really hopeful that maybe GW would actually make an upgrade kit, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the way for us Primaris players. Right, that is me done. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've passed on some information. Like I said, go and check this article out for yourself. The link is in the description of this video. Go and read it and have a nice little time. And come back and then just post your feedback in the description of this video. Are you excited? Do you absolutely hate Primaris Marines like most of you chaps normally tell me? I love them. I absolutely love Primaris Marines. I'm glad we're getting some more attention when it comes to the competitive side on the tabletop. Hopefully this codex will bring that into full effect. Again, thank you for watching the video, and I shall see you all very soon. See you chaps, and bye bye.